Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to our first show. With me is Lindsay Rutledge down here at the bottom of the screen. I have Mike Archer over here next to me, and I am Keith Cookus, and we are going to walk you through some of the weirdest things that anyone talks about on a regular basis but never admits to. Kind of a little bit of a backstory about how this show started. Linz, do you want to kind of fill everybody in on that so they kind of know where we're going with everything?
How the show started? Well, that would have to get into how we all met, but I'll get there in a second. As for how this show started, I think there have been at least 3 times when the 3 of us have been talking and someone has said we should just have a podcast, and for whatever reason a couple weeks ago when one of us said that, we were like, you know what, fuck it, yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it. Why not?
Who brought it up? I don't remember who brought it up.
I don't know. I don't know who it was.
Oh, okay, so someone's taking all the credit. Well,
no, I don't know.
No. I said I don't remember who it was that brought it up this time.
Oh,
this
no, I know.
time, this time.
I'm saying Mike's over there just showboating.
Oh, I didn't see him. You were talking, so I was making eye contact virtually, and I didn't see Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lindsay's idea.
He's
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm
That
sure
was your
we all
idea?
said it.
No,
sure
I
we
mean
all
the
said
time
it.
that we finally were like, yeah, let's go.
I just happened to text Lindsay after something. I forgot what it was. I was like, why the fuck don't we have a show together? She was like, fuck yeah, da-da-da. And then she got the ball rolling, and here we are.
Group thread for life.
What?
Hey, did y'all hear someone like whistle a second ago?
I did. I thought that was one of you two.
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
It was from one of yours though, because these are noise canceling.
Oh, that's right. You got the buds in. I didn't see those.
It was one of you.
Well,
It's probably Mike's. I mean, your guys'
be.
places are the most active.
you got the cute little kitty and doggy there, and I have a little child spirit, so maybe she's trying to do a little whistle.
Little whistling action.
The 2 that are on that couch right now are not 2 that anyone ever has to worry about. Those are the last ones that are going to be guard anything. So yeah, I guess that's how
that's how we started the genius idea. And but as for all of us, how we met and the reason we decided that we would talk about paranormal spooky things for our first episode is because that's how we all met, was through those kinds of paranormal avenues. And so we thought, what better way to start the show than to talk about spooky shit, because that's how we all met each other.
The spooky shit.
The spooky shit.
Yeah, I love that.
I think we already experienced some of that before we could even get through the beginning.
Yeah,
that's
okay
good.
though.
It's a normal day in our lives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she said it, our houses were the most active, and I'm assuming that came from you. So
like,
what's up with you there?
But my house isn't really, you guys, like, your houses have shit going on. My house doesn't.
Yeah.
So, but
what's about it, Michael?
In terms of all the spooky shit and paranormal stuff, I first met Mike after randomly having an awesome conversation with Mr. Nick Groff on his Instagram, which I didn't try to talk. It was, so this is what makes me think and believe, just love synchronicities and all those kinds of things so much, because when that conversation happened, I was actually watching my friend, a different friend over on Twitch, because he was DJing. And so I wanted to do the whole support the friend thing. And so I was watching him and I saw that Nick was going live and I was like, oh, let's see what the topic is, blah, blah, blah. There wasn't a topic. He was just getting on there to talk to folks. And so I was like, I'm not touching anything because you can select something to ask to talk to them, right?
Yeah.
You guys have seen that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I'm not touching anything. Like I had just said hi when I just got on there just to say hi. And I was actually thinking about this tonight because I'm like, this had never crossed my mind before. But I mean, that was like a year or whatever ago now. So probably wouldn't remember because I didn't touch anything to talk. And the only thing I could come up with is that he just saw that there was zombie in my name and decided
Why not?
like the name and try talking or whatever, because all of a sudden my phone's lighting up. And so we talked and he told me about Viddy Space in G Crew. And so that's how I first heard of Viddy Space, which is now Cosm. And so I started checking out some shows over there. And that's how I ran into Mr. Michael Archer.
The one and only. Well, probably not the one and only, but so yeah, I mean yeah, that's how we met on then the platform Viddy Space, and just started talking more and then got more involved with other people on there, and then Lindsay and I were given a great opportunity to create a show that we can't mention except for it's in post-production. That's coming out on another platform.
Martial arts, right?
What's that?
It's martial arts, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, totally martial arts.
Okay.
Oh, totally Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
But you know, my shared experiences are much like Lindsay's in some effects, and basically I grew up into the paranormal and unexplained, and it's been deep in my family's history, and I just found out more so about it just a weekend ago from my mom and my uncle. Some of these stories from them growing up, because growing up myself, we had experiences in this one house. They more so tortured my sister more than me and my brother and my mom and dad. But in that same house, like stuff would move in the kitchen, things would disappear. And then later on in life, I just started experiencing my own things and hearing things and then seeing things. Saw my first female little girl apparition probably around 2000, maybe 99 or 2000, something like that. So ever since then, I feel like I don't ever claim to be a paranormal investigator, even though I've investigated numerous places, but I like to say paranormal enthusiast, because I am still trying to seek answers, and I love watching others try to do the same. And I will also say that I'm probably a sensitive, but my thought and opinion on that is that anyone who's ever experienced paranormal or unexplained, they are sensitive as well, because now you are in tune with things that you can't explain. And then you occasionally, over a period of time or daily, in my case, experience things that, would definitely make you sensitive to the paranormal and unexplained.
Hey, I've got a question for you off something you said that I it's very obvious, but I've never really thought, in the way that you put it. Anyone that has a paranormal experience is sensitive. And we talk about, you're more sensitive to certain frequencies or energies or however anything is connected. Don't go physics with me, but no, it's bad. In saying that, do you think that once we get on that level that we're drawn to each other more because of that vibration?
I have thought about that a lot in my life, and I would absolutely agree with that thought.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
that a lot of us that are on that sensitive level. I mean, just look at how many people we have reached out to and actually have talked to, that are actual paranormal investigators, or psychic mediums, or witches, or whatnot. I think that we're kind of drawn in that area. And some people get it confused when you say sensitive. I would say the non-believers, when you say sensitive, they think that you're some type of medium, and that's not what a sensitive is.
They take what they've seen on Maury Povich and think that
Yes.
that's what you are. You're some kind of psychic mystic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between being a sensitive and then, say, being a medium or psychic medium. But a sensitive to me is just somebody who's had that experience, continues to have experience, and with those experiences knows that something is going on that they can't explain. But they're like, oh, okay, here we go again. So yeah. And it could be when you walk into a house, you just get this heavy feeling and you're like, what the heck, or you start getting a headache immediately. Maybe it's because somebody who passed there died of an aneurysm, pain in the chest. Maybe somebody died of a heart attack. Something like of that type of nature. And then, of course, that stuff can delve out into different things. Like for me, every now and then I hear voices that like to wake me up in the morning and saying, hey, or my name. So it's ever-changing field, ever-changing experiences.
Yeah, and stuff gets goofy when you think about labels and stuff. A lot of people are kind of uncomfortable with the labels of things, but I just think they come in handy when you're initially starting to talk to someone about these kinds of things, because it's almost like you have to use the stereotype of different things just to guide people in the right direction, if that makes sense. Because if I talk to people, I just say like I have medium type stuff or whatever, because it also depends on what kind of person you're talking to. If you're talking to just like your everyday person who's not into any of this or whatever, like I'll say the medium like stuff, because there's enough shows on TV where people kind of see crap like that, I guess. But yeah, I believe everyone is sensitive to it. And I mean, obviously, I feel some of us are more sensitive to others, just like some people are more just naturally athletically gifted or something like that, or musically or artistically, blah, blah, blah. What are you guys giggling about?
I raised my hand when you said athletically gifted, and Mike lost his shit. I don't know what happened.
That sums it up.
It's his other job as the Flash that gets Mike.
You know what? Here's the problem we have now. I can't do it. You've told.
I just revealed your identity to everyone.
Yep. I'm really fast too.
Shit.
Y'all, I mean, that video that you saw,
I know.
I might try. I'll try to add it in.
Oh my
so
god!
People know what we're talking about. But
it's the greatest thing ever. I hope we can add it in, because it's
I will.
Spectacular.
I'll be able to. It my speed knows no bounds.
No.
That's all I can say.
Yes. Very gifted with speed.
Yes.
Very.
Yeah. Faster than a parked car.
Oh.
On a good day.
I don't know. I guess
So-
Mike talked a bit about it. Should I talk about like how it started and stuff, or like what?
How what started? Just with you?
Yeah, the
Just a nutshell of your story.
weird stuff. Well, it started when I was 6, when my grandpa died from cancer. It was at least the week of his funeral. I don't know if it was the day of his funeral, but my brother and I didn't go because my parents felt we were too young to really understand. I was 6 and he was 4, so which I mean makes sense. And I was just walking through the house, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something sitting in the chair in the living room. So I turned to look, and it was him sitting there. And he looked to me just like we look like to each other. So it wasn't like he was a shadow figure type thing or a more misty kind of see-through whatever.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything, but I just knew that he would always be with me. And like, since I was raised Lutheran and everything, I just, you use the phrase of guardian angel and stuff. So that's what I thought of at first when I was 6 and everything. Most peaceful, easily I've ever felt in my life. Was nothing scary. And the more I think about it, with the more people that we work with and talk to, I'm really grateful that my first experiences were all with family that had crossed over to the other side, because none of it was scary to me. It was people that I loved. And so when it eventually did start kind of branching out to, first it was a friend who had passed away, and after he passed, now it can be anybody. I can be reading someone's comment to a post I did on Facebook, and just reading their comment, someone will pop in, and so that's interesting to deal with sometimes. And you also have to,
Never catches you off guard either, does it?
well, not in like a bad way or anything. It doesn't really catch me off guard. It's just more so it's like I have to decide at that moment, if it happens, do I write down or record what this soul is telling me? And then I have to decide if I'm going to actually pass that message on. Because if it's somebody who writes a comment in my thing and I've never talked to them before, it's like, it's such a delicate thing, because these are their loved ones. And depending on their beliefs and stuff, that could really fuck some stuff up and like hurt some people.
Yeah.
So it's hard when you don't know the person really to figure that out, because I feel that if they're going to bother coming through and telling me something or showing me something or whatever, they're doing it because that person needs to hear it because of something that they're going through, and it'll help them in some way. So you're torn between this. Do I tell this person something that could really be affecting them in a bad way? Something like regrets with the past or whatever. Like people have regrets with family members who have passed and friends who have passed and things like that. And you want to help in that way, but if they don't believe in those things, or maybe it's too soon, because I don't know when these people pass either or whatever. Yeah, it's just, so I guess kind of the general rule, at least that I've kind of heard, is that you never give like unsolicited messages. So what I've just kind of decided to do is, if something does happen, if it's for somebody I know, I'll tell them because they know my stuff or whatever. And if it's somebody I don't know, I can always just kind of throw it out there that like, oh, I get stuff sometimes or whatever, and I think I'm pretty sure this is for you. Are you okay with hearing that? Just
Which,
kind of
like,
asking because you don't know, you know.
which she did for me when my brother just passed. So, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like with Mike, and that surprised me too, but I was thankful that he came through and stuff, because with how much we keep in contact with each other, I was knowing what was going on with you and your family, and you have to consider that too, even with people you know, because we all grieve differently and handle things differently, and sometimes it's like, yeah, the information, give it to me, whatever, and other times it's like, I need a minute, like, so I just recorded it in my voice memos and sent it to him and told him to listen to him whenever he wants, and if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to, kind of thing. But yeah, so I think, like, especially in terms, since I've just started kind of doing investigations, I guess, with other people, I was really, because that always made me curious, because I always thought it'd be interesting to see how I'd react because of the experiences that I've had, but that's been all with family and like nothing to be afraid of, kind of thing. But this active jail, I got to check out with some people. I heard a growl right behind me. People were getting scratched. One dude who got scratched twice, he almost passed out or something. I don't know what that was. Metal door slam, hearing whistles, and none of it freaked me out. There was only one moment that freaked me out when we were the last ones, or we were helping the people running it pack up their gear. So we're the last ones in there, and we were just making the last sweep of the place, kind of seeing if there was anything they had forgotten. And I checked this back hallway thing, and when I looked back there, like, my stomach did the topsy turvy thing, and I just knew there was something bad back there, and it felt like it was coming towards me fast. So I did a little speed walk away from there, because
You get that feeling like it's like you're going down something steep really fast, like you went on a roller coaster, just like that gut drop.
it was not so much that, so maybe that wasn't a good way to describe it. It was more so like I could feel like anxiety, like major anxiety. So like the stuff that you kind of experience in your body with that when you get super anxious.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like panic. Like I couldn't see anything there, but I knew something was there and it was bad. And I just, but so I don't know if part of that is just being lucky that I had all nice stuff, I guess, happen as growing up. Because some people start out and it's really bad, terrifying experiences, and then they don't want anything to do with it, which can't blame them, so.
True.
Very true.
I wouldn't want to either. So I feel pretty lucky that it was nice and people I knew and stuff. So then, I got to know Mike through VidiSpace and Cosm. And I'm trying to think. I think it's when Mike and I were doing a different program for VidiSpace that we got to know Keith. Am I remembering right?
It was before with you, because the first couple of episodes of that other show, when it was called something different, it was just the host, a guest, and a ton of people that could come into the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 4 episodes in or something that the name changed, and then you guys came on. But I I think
Yeah.
I'd reached out to you on social media, one of the two,
Mhm.
because I followed E, and you were always like, I always saw your name on there. I'm like, she looks like a cool person. Let's say hello.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah.
We got along right away, man.
Mhm. So we
Bitch.
all kind of like just,
And now we're a mind meld.
but yeah, I think that's how you and I came to be
Right.
pals. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I had actually like, I want to say I've always been in paranormal. I mean, it's since I was a child.
Mhm.
It goes back to the first experience I had was actually a family member like yours. I was a little older, and that's the first one I could remember. But I was up late one night and doing homework, and we had like a dining room, living room that was just open, and then the swinging doors, like to go into a kitchen or whatever,
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah, the swinging door went into the kitchen from the dining room. So I'm at the dining room table doing homework late one night, and the door is open, like you can prop it and leave it open, and I see like this type of thing out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, huh,
Huh.
okay. And I went back to doing what I was doing, and I caught it full on this time. Of course, I was like, what the fuck? And I'm 17 years old. I'm still like a grown ass man, like physically at that point, because I literally haven't grown in probably 20 years. So I broke my mom's rib giving her a hug once.
Damn.
So yeah, that's another story too.
Tough love.
But I'm a 17-year-old that could pass for, mid 20s easily. And
Right.
I'm screaming at the top of my lungs for my mom, because there's some old dude looking at me that, as I processed, was like, that looked like pictures of my great grandfather. And everyone had always said that he and I were very similar, as far as our sense of humor, just the energy or whatever.
Right.
So it made sense that it would be him. And come to find out, when I talked to my mom about it, she told me when I was younger, I would tell her what the angels came and told me at night. And it was stuff that 3-4-year-old kids should not know.
Right.
So that I didn't remember any of that, but she told me about it around the time that this happened to me, and I told her everything that happened. So I started getting into learning more about paranormal. Everyone, like we said, everyone is sensitive to an extent. So I had that little bit, but I sought it out actively.
Yeah.
Before, Ghost Hunters was the first big, like, here's paranormal investigators on TV. And it was this new thing that everyone loved. And I had just started doing investigations with my best friend at the time. We were 20, 21. We're 38, 39 now, so it was a while ago. But we caught our first EVP, and that was kind of the beginning of the path for me. And I did a lot of active investigations just with him. I've lost so much of the evidence. I know you guys have seen some of it. I know I've shared some EVPs and one photograph in particular. Yeah, but that was just my entry into all of it. And now you can even see that's a Ouija board. And that's Vigo from Ghostbusters. And that's the vampire that my 5-year-old nephew drew. So I've always been this guy. I can't help it. But I think what it boils down to is that not so much that it's an unknown, but I think just like a roller coaster or a fast car gives you something you don't experience often, and you get that excitement from it. You get that rush.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
totally.
same thing with this for me, not from like an adrenaline junkie standpoint,
Right.
but from just like having amazing life experiences. And
Yeah. It's the whole can you believe
yeah,
that?
exactly. It's, you get that feeling that there's more to everything,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is important for anyone to have. Some people call it religion, faith, science. I mean, however you want to look at it,
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that there's something bigger than us,
Right.
is what really drew me in. So in doing that, as I'm watching these shows, I watched another show with a mutual friend of ours, actually, who I guess is really ultimately responsible for us being friends in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw her, she did a show for 2 seasons. And that's when I was like, okay, so I know the other 2 people she's doing the show with. Who's this one? I've never heard anything about her. And then added her to the other string of paranormal people that I follow.
Okay.
And that's kind of what led me to you there, Ruddy.
Finding Vidi Space and
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean,
yeah.
we could all sit here and talk for hours about experiences we've had and where we've come from.
Hours.
Oh, I mean, we could do at least a week, 8-hour days, just us doing this, and we would probably hit the majority of it. But it, one thing I am looking forward to with this show, though, so we've had, Mike and I have very active, I don't know if you want to call it homes or just attraction to, I don't know if it means we're some kind of like high powered lighthouse or if just we keep picking really shitty places to live. But
Ghost magnets.
exactly, yeah. Well, I'm close to having my own gravitational pull as it is, so who knows what I can pull in, That's funny. Shut up. No, what I was going to say is, with us having so much activity,
Yeah.
we've caught, I hope it's on the recording, but we've caught a whistle at the beginning of this one. And yesterday, did we not have like a handful of things happen when we were just meeting up to talk?
Yeah, you had orbs
at your house
coming out of, not, I wouldn't say the Ouija board area, but it was just coming out and it was coming towards your camera, towards you into the camera. And then there was one that went towards your TV and going another direction. And I was like, oh, okay, active.
And I'm willing to put my money on that whistle coming from your place, because I know it didn't come from here.
I was like, because
it could be, and I do have a child spirit attached to me. I know, I believe I know who she is. I won't get that too much into that because of family reasons. But yeah, she follows me everywhere. I've caught her on camera a couple times. She formed into like a little white mist after I heard these video game cartridges moving around in the coffee table in front of me. And
cartridges, kids. That's how old Mike and I are, and Lindsay's close.
I put my camera, my iPhone on, and there's the burst mode, and I hit burst, and it took like 18 photos, and in only one of those photos was this white mist. And so yeah, I occasionally get that. I get the voices in my room, like I said before, something in my ear, but it's been pretty much everywhere I go. So I don't believe it's the house, I believe it's me. So
yeah. I kind of feel the same way with my end. I did, oddly enough, pick this house that backs up to a cemetery, which I don't know how much of what I experience here is accounted because of that, but what I do know is that regardless of what our topic is going to be during the week, um, everyone has a chance of seeing some weird shit happen.
Yeah, that's
I honestly, that could be part of the fun with this too. Regardless of
Mhm.
what we talk about, if you guys catch something, that's what brought us together. That's our heart. You know, that's not all we are, which you're going to find more and more as the show goes on. But
right.
I think it would be cool to just keep running tabs if every show, regardless of what we're talking about, if they told us if they saw something, like kept an eye out for it, like
Oh,
evidence or
absolutely.
something.
Yeah, totally.
Might be
And
something worth looking into.
it wasn't yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
We must have all, well, I'm talking about when I saw something at your place. I don't, because we've FaceTimed a few times, but it wasn't on that. You were sitting
The
there.
mirror.
Did we
It was the
have
mirror.
another meeting before this? No, I saw
No.
above your head like light streaks or something, like above your head flash at one time.
I think that was
We're
FaceTime.
like, yeah, probably.
That was FaceTime.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw
Yeah.
like these light streaks flash above your head. It was like, oh, all right.
Just
Just
used
another
to it.
day.
I mean, the odds of it happening with yours is heavier in the morning, it sounds like, for the most part.
Yeah.
Mine's heavier in the evening.
Right.
I was explaining it to a friend yesterday that it's the best way to describe what I hear is like if you're in a pool and you go just maybe a foot below the surface and there's two people having a conversation right above you on like the edge of the pool. Constant.
Kind of murky.
It could be two people, it could be 10 people, you know, they're talking, you know that there's more than one person, but you can't make out a word of it. And it's not overpowering everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just, that's regularly, more often than anything. But so, yeah, if you guys want to keep eyes out for stuff, let us know if you see anything. We'd appreciate it. We're pretty good at catching it when it happens, believe it
You
or
guys
not.
are
But the
better at
odds,
catching it than me, man. But you're around it more. Like,
well, yeah, but also in the same token, there's a video I sent you guys of Belle that I had
Oh, yeah.
watched hundreds of times, and Mike, you immediately saw what I never did
yeah.
up in the top corner.
Mike's ears and eyes are very good for spotting things. There, I believe you had 2 videos of Belle, and there were things in both videos, I want to say.
Was it in both?
I think so.
I
It
think
might have not been the exact same thing, but there were things that were spotted in both. I
Yeah,
believe,
in both.
or heard. In
And
both.
our awesome mutual friend had noticed it too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, she's really good at picking up stuff too. I was like oblivious. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Which is so weird to me. Like, you fall asleep again.
Really?
It's like, it's interesting to me because the 3 of us are all sensitive, overly sensitive to things.
I do cry a lot too.
Same.
Yes. Yeah. We don't have to get going on the whole crying thing, because that
We don't cry like
whole
Aaron
episode-
Rodgers though.
That's a series of episodes. We could cry.
The crying.
The crying, yeah.
I've done it 3 times since we've been on here. I'm just so dehydrated from doing it.
Right.
And
Nothing coming
The
out.
joys of being
Put in the wiggle.
empathic and just crying all the time. Woo!
Oh my gosh, here we go.
wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Like, I don't know, because I know, Keith, you're doing stuff at your house, because I talked to you about like crystal grids and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and various things, because I've had a grid in my house. Maybe 6 years now.
But I haven't had anything bad.
Redo and stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying,
You know?
like, because
Yeah.
it usually for me things pop up if like I'll get messages for friends and stuff.
I heard it too.
What did you guys hear?
I heard a voice.
It went like,
Yeah, like
Really?
yeah.
mm-hmm. And I know I got to talk about some of the stuff on my wall behind me, just to kind of validate that I am the weirdo I claim I am. Lindsay, what all is on that bookshelf
yes,
of love behind you?
There's a little sort of display of examples of randomness that we'll be talking about, I suppose. There's always the spiritual aspect of things that could creep in, because I consider that to be pretty much one and the same with paranormal stuff. I have a problem with collecting pop figurines. Let's see.
Is it that you can't find them?
Huh?
Is it that you can't find them?
No.
You were
I
like,
have too many of them. Shut your. Well, because they're all around here. There's like stuff on the shelf back there.
I can see
got
them up there.
Iron Man and Captain America. I got Doctor Who. I got Ichigo from Bleach. Firefly, Ghostbusters, The Crow, Deadpool, and then here, let's see, V for Vendetta.
V.
Ken from Tokyo Ghoul.
I don't know
Anyone's
that
seen
one.
that? It's badass, and you should check it out. Hi Zombie, because I loved that show.
I love her.
Oh, hysterical.
I had a vision.
And then I got these random little dudes.
God damn.
Game of Thrones and Walking Dead.
Which one are they? Are they both Walking Dead?
Huh?
Are they
This
both
is Game
Walking
of
Dead?
Thrones
Okay.
and Walking Dead.
Nice.
And then my alien, my Buddha, my plague doctor mask I made for Halloween a couple years. I don't know.
It turns out that you might be a psychic after all.
Oh,
You
I
made
see
a
what
plague
you did
mask.
there.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Ba-doonks.
Yeah. And then there's Happy Leatherface for all those Loot
Happy.
Crate fans out there. He used to do Loot Crate for a while, and
I did too.
Same.
which I want to start doing that again, but I'll wait till money. Yeah.
I have a Hellboy piggy bank.
How's your what?
A Hellboy piggy bank. It's his fist.
Oh,
Hellboy.
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty rad.
Hellboy is rad. I like Hellboy.
Mike, what's going on with yours? It looks like there might be a theme.
There's a theme of some
There
sort.
is a theme. So for me, I almost died when I was 3 years old. And when I woke up, I had nothing but comic books above my hospital bed. There was like a plastic, I don't know what the hell it was. You don't ever see it now, but there was a plastic covering on top of my bed. And there's all these comics, mainly Spider-Man and Superman. So I grew up loving comics and I collected them, and I still have a whole bunch of them. Some very popular, very pricey ones. But I also love
Collector's
figurines, such as this awesome Endgame Captain America figurine, and Shield, obviously, and autograph Robert Downey Jr. and Captain America themselves.
Oh,
Chris
RDJ.
I
Yep.
know. I love Robert Downey Jr.
I also have a very limited edition of Chris Evans' signature edition of his trading cards.
Yo.
What?
including
Dude, you showed me those before.
Are those replicas
Little-
of the ones they made that like Coulson had?
exactly.
Oh wow.
Oops.
Dude, this is news to me. What the shit, man?
So it has the replica cards
Yo,
that were in the movie, and then some of them that actually have bloodstains put on them.
that's so rad.
Shut up. When you
But-
started going to pull that out of there, I was like, I haven't seen that before. What the fuck is this?
But
That's
it's
what she
made
said.
by EFX. Can't even read it.
Yeah.
Everything's falling out. Okay.
Yeah, I see it. Agent Coulson's vintage Captain America trading cards. Chris Evans signature.
That's crazy.
That's so rad, man.
So I'm
That is
obviously
rad.
a big Marvel fan. I am a big movie fan, obviously with the Ghostbusters behind me. I love anything paranormal, scary. We were just talking about offhand Poltergeist earlier.
Oh yeah.
So big fan of that type of old music and so forth. And yeah, that's what I grew up on. I love it. I love the movies. Marvel has
Mhm.
been dominating the movies lately. DC, not so much. Although I love the Superman.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
I was like, this is gonna be a whole other episode, boys.
that
Many
will definitely be
episodes.
an episode.
Many episodes.
I'm
But you
not
guys will
harsh.
definitely have to do an episode where you guys talk comics specifically because
Although
didn't
I
read comics.
will say Zack Snyder's version of Justice League more than made up for a lot of that.
Yes.
That was totally
Mhm.
badass in the way it should have been, but
I
we'll
still
go into that
haven't
on
watched
another
that.
episode. You have to watch it.
I know.
You haven't
I
watched
can't
it yet,
believe
Linz?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
Do you know I watched?
Good to
Hey,
watch.
look. You know how I had to make her watch? Like she wanted to watch Loki, but she has her list, of
Yeah.
stuff that she really does want to watch.
Yeah.
We had to watch it, stream it together. So I
It
had
was
to
so
make
fun,
sure.
though.
But once I got her past that third episode, she was like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." Is it over? Really?
Well,
But
the first night we started watching it, I wasn't feeling that well, or something was going on. Because I just know, like, I wasn't like that functional. I remember that much because it was like if I wasn't feeling crappy, I would watch more. But
that was right around the
Loki
time
was
that
awesome.
that was when I transitioned from the games to Loki.
What was it?
You had kind of a rough week, and we were playing like Battleship and all that, and then
yes.
I was like, "Well, why don't we do Loki?"
yeah.
Yeah.
My boys. My
Once again.
boys.
Once again, Marvel being dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Someone sounds a little upset down there.
No, I like Marvel.
I think we're
Oh,
on
okay.
the same page.
Here's the thing. I love
boy.
Marvel, but my all-time favorite is DC. Like my all-time favorite dude. If I was Mike Archer, he would be my Captain America.
Yep. Oh my god.
Barry Allen is a god among men. He can change everything. Sorry.
He's pretty spectacular.
Sorry.
I like all this stuff. I mean, obviously I love the movies, the Marvel films and stuff, but I dig the DC shows. I dig the Marvel shows that are happening. I think it's all fun.
There's only two I've ever wanted to be. And that was either Spider-Man or Superman. And
Yep.
both are Marvel DC.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching our very first episode of Strange Deadfellows. Thank you on behalf of Lindsay and
Thank
Keith.
you.
If you like what you see, give us a like, give us a follow, hit share if you like. We promise to bring you some very different, weird, exciting, and pure awesome episodes here in the near future. So until next time, we'll catch you later.